From the least romantic tin box we could find in Sagaponack, New York, the richest zip code in America except for this street, you're listening to Air Hamptons. And the top of the show said with Bridget and Bill, but we are blessed to have and honored to have the great Jenna Volpe here from WLIW. Pull up a love seat because it's February and we are talking about all things romantic. Jim Turner playing some kind of romantic background music. Does a harmonica often come into play?
Oh yeah, I love a harmonica.
You and Mr. Volpe will often play the harmonica, and then love will ensue. Is that possibly the way it goes?
Well, my daughter
Thank you, Jim Turner.
plays a harmonica that Jim gave her.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yes. In fact, Jim, you teach harmonica, don't you?
I do. Guitar, harmonica, and
We couldn't tell from that song, but I'm sure you're good. No, I'm kidding. You see, love is in the air. Come on. Or what's love got to do with it? Jim Turner's here. Jenna, as I said, welcome.
Yes, you gotta have the heart for February, right?
We got a little East End heart. This is part of her East End coup. She's taking over every day on WLIW. Now she's got Sundays. She has Monday through Friday.
I just can't get enough.
Matthew Kristen joins us from Canoe Place Inn and Cottages. We're going to talk about the most romantic restaurants on the East End. Did Canoe Place make the Yelp or TripAdvisor list? Maybe. Some most romantic movies of all time. What's the most romantic movie you and Mr. Volpe like?
Well, we saw Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind on our first date.
That's an Air Hamptons reference. Absolutely.
Yes.
Shout out here for that. It's a very obscure movie for people that don't aren't cinephiles.
That's how the date happened. I had blue hair, and he said, "What else is going on?" And I said, "Other than this being the year of Eternal Sunshine," and he said, "I have no idea what that means." And
Wow.
I said, "I'll have to show you."
And you married
that
him
movie."
anyway.
You know? No, I said I'll have to show you that movie. And he said, "You'll have to show me that movie."
Did
And I
Kate
said,
Winslet
"What time
have
do you get off?"
blue hair in that movie?
In the first scene.
Okay.
And then Jim Carrey was heading out to Montauk, and he said, "Oh, I grew up in Montauk."
Wow.
You know?
And they shot a lot
That's
of that.
like when you know you.
And they
know.
shot a lot of it, not in the Hamptons, I
Well,
think,
right.
but they shot a lot of it out here.
Right.
Isn't there a whole sequence on the Long Island Railroad?
Yes, absolutely. That's like the beginning of the movie. That's how it opens.
Okay, did that make any of the most romantic movies lists of all time? We got AFI. Also, can we
I don't
work
think
this?
so. That one's like a coming back together kind of movie,
I think
right?
you're going to be surprised. Can we work this out together is another segment we're doing with Sag Harbor Pilates expert Kelly
I'm
Shepard.
excited about that.
Do couples do Pilates? We'll find out. Do you exercise at all with Mr. Volpe?
I have not started working out with him, but we did just get our membership.
Really?
Gym membership. So, to be continued.
I have a comedian friend who says, join a gym, walk in, take a good look at the place because that's the last time you'll
last
ever
time you'll
set
see
foot
it?
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
also,
already went. I've gone.
he also says the mirrors are the equipment you use the most because you're just looking at other
You're just
people.
right.
I'm like, who's that? Oh, she's cute. And we are saving the sweetest for last. We have Steve Amarell, am I saying that?
Yes.
Of the North Fork Chocolate. And we're going to talk about chocolate and romance. Does it really work? Is it an aphrodisiac? Again,
Totally.
not to drag you in.
Oh,
Yeah?
You can, yeah. I mean, I with my love affair with chocolate, yes, I love chocolate.
So you and Mr. Volpe in a romantic situation with a harmonica and chocolate. I'm trying to paint this picture. And yeah, okay. Listen, I don't judge. We don't judge.
No, don't
This is
judge.
Air Hamptons.
You can't judge when it comes to chocolate.
Air Hamptons with Gianna and Bill.
What about
Thank you for
you?
joining us. We are, let's talk about where did you meet, what year did you meet your husband? And I keep calling him Mr.
So
Volpe.
it was Marco Triggiano. So it was Valentine's Day.
It was.
Yes. In 2021, because I had just bought my first home 2 months before. It was the pandemic. I was so lonely, and I didn't feel like I could responsibly go out and meet people and date because I'm on the air every day saying, don't gather,
Right.
don't get together.
Did he call the station and go play Misty for me?
No, oh my God. No, but someone said you should get a fish. So I got a beta fish, and I would go to Petco to visit the animals. That's how lonely I was. That was
Oh my God, this is the saddest story I've ever heard.
Hey, but then, you know what? It has a very happy ending. We have 2 beautiful children.
Okay, wait. So you met during COVID. What was the first date like? What did you do? One of those
We watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind at
with
my
masks
house.
on at your house?
Well, at my house, and no, I had 12-foot ceilings, so, you know, it was fine.
There were. I can't think of the famous people that were dating, and they all had to test before they. Did you guys test before the date?
No, because at the time, we were alone in the studios, so the only person it was just me, and one another.
Okay.
We might have. I don't remember. I mean, it was lockdown.
Yeah, let's be responsible.
We were totally responsible.
And so, how long did the courtship
It was
go on
like,
before?
it was so. We watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and I kissed him. And then the next day, he took me to Legends, which was one of my favorite places to eat at the time,
All right. Where's Legends?
in New Suffolk.
Okay.
It now has a new ownership. It used to be Diane and Dennis Harkoff. I don't know the new owners, but they also
Okay,
own
it's not that important to the story.
for people who like food. And then the third date, I made him steak at my house, and we never parted.
From the third date on?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Mrs. McCuddy and I knew in 90 days. We got
You did?
engaged in 90 days.
Wow, that's your 90-day fiance?
Yeah, 90-day fiance. And here we are 27 years later.
So,
and we
it
got
can happen,
engaged
guys.
on a junket, on a movie junket. We went to Paris. I had
So you had it in the bag then.
Well, yeah, I guess. But then when we got engaged, Roger Ailes, who was the head of Fox News, walked around the. This is a charming romantic moment that I don't think I've shared with my wife. Walked around the newsroom going, "What's the over/under on how long the McCuddy marriage lasts?" They were taking bets.
I hope none of them made any money.
I hope not too. But anyway, yeah, that was, and we were on television because there was a camera crew there.
Oh, wow.
In front of the Eiffel Tower. And I said to
Stop.
the guy, a French cameraman, I said, just keep rolling no matter what happens.
Oh, my God. That's so beautiful.
Well, yours is a good story too, but I'm
No,
about
but
to
that's
stomp all
really-
over it.
that's fine.
No, I'm kidding.
That's my story, and I love my story. And
So
I
no,
love
yours
your
is
story for
great.
you.
I love the COVID stories. I mean,
Yeah.
those are amazing. And that I'll bet you did exercise with him then because you went for those long COVID walks.
Yeah, right.
Well, we did with my goodness. It's the last exercise we've done together. But perhaps we'll do Pilates. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Anyway, the guy is shooting me and my wife in front of this Eiffel Tower. And I said, Paris is such a romantic city. Any woman walking by, you could say, "May I have a kiss?" And so I had her walk by. I give her the kiss. And then I go into the pitch of the open for the
How
thing.
cute.
So I go, cut. And I go, well, let's do it one more time. And of course, my wife, Sue, goes, "Oh, Bill, the first time was great. You were great. It was fun. We're
No,
done.
just trust me.
We're done." She's starting to go shopping. I'm like, no, let's do it one more time. And the second time I said, Paris is such a romantic city. Any woman walking by, you might say, "Will you marry me?"
Aww.
Got down on the thing and did the thing. She
You
got it.
did the thing.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Oh.
Yeah. And then what's really funny about the story, and then we've got to get to the show, is that we were there for a junket with Sigourney Weaver, and it was for Alien 4, and then also Meg Ryan and John Cusack for that animated version of Anastasia.
Oh, yeah,
And I get back to the Bristol hotel, with gorgeous hotel, and the stars are all like, "We heard you just got engaged."
That's so cute.
And Sigourney Weaver literally says in the interview, "I don't want to talk about the movie. I want to talk about Sue."
Right.
So my interviews were shot because it was all about me getting engaged. But I didn't tell my wife to be about those interviews. And then at our wedding, I played the tape of all these famous people going, "Tell me about Sue."
See,
So
being calculating can be a positive.
90 days and we're still here. Speaking of romance, we're counting down the top 10 romantic restaurants
Oh, yeah.
on the East End.
We don't know.
Legends, you and your husband went to Legends, not on the list.
That's not, and North Fork Table, that's not on the list either.
Yeah, this is,
Vine
by the way-
Street Cafe is there.
Okay, well, let's get into this. This is TripAdvisor. If you're just joining us, this is Air Hamptons with Gianna and Bill. And we're talking all things romantic because what does love have to do with it? We are at number 10, the Vine Street Cafe, which also has Cove Hollow here in East Hampton. But Vine Street is on
Shelter Island.
Shelter Island. Do you agree?
With
is that
Vine
romantic?
Street? You know what? I've never been to Vine Street.
Shut up.
I haven't.
seems
And there was
wrong.
another one. There's a really great restaurant. I don't know if it's there anymore that I had never been to that I wanted to go to. The name is escaping me. But
All
of
right.
course, Plaza Cafe. That's in Southampton with Doug Julia.
Yeah,
Very good.
Plaza, I never said, okay, now we're even. I've never been, number 9 is the Plaza Cafe, and again, this is
Stone Creek
TripAdvisor.
Inn. That's Christian Muir.
Yeah, okay, Stone Creek Inn I get. That's over in, where is that?
Hampton Bays.
Hampton Bays, yeah, and that's,
East Quogue.
and they bring you that little, they make you get that little egg. You know about the little egg?
Oh, no,
They keep going,
and
no,
you
you gotta get
crack
the little
it?
egg. You crack it, and somehow there's caviar in it, so.
Oh.
David Copperfield is working in
into
the
that.
kitchen. I don't know.
Edgewater. That's where Harmony got her name.
Yeah, okay, that number 6, the Edgewater, which is also in Hampton Bays. I have been there. That's a great spot.
Yes,
and
I love
you
it.
have to go, that's one of those places you have to go at 5 o'clock to get in, because otherwise a long line, there's no reservations.
I think we went for lunch. with
Yeah,
them.
okay. Very reasonable. Number 5, not surprised about this at all, and it reminds me of Canoe Place in some ways.
Oh, the American Hotel.
American Hotel, yeah. You got
That's
the
like-
Roaring Fire.
Yes.
You got the multi-million-dollar wine list, and most of the...
You're making me hungry.
Most of
I
the
had ostrich there.
anchors and producers who worked at 60 Minutes are at the bar on any
Well,
given
see,
night.
and so the sister restaurant to that is Tweed's in Riverhead. And then if
Oh,
that's
really?
where all of,
Of the
like
American Hotel?
all the district attorneys and all of the lawyers and all of the politicals.
They don't own it, but in...
No,
in-
I just mean yeah.
Right, it's, yeah, okay, Tweeds,
It's got,
that's
yeah,
called?
Tweed's. That's the Buffalo Bar and Grill down in Riverhead.
Riverhead is
It's
the
a
new...
similar vibe.
Riverhead is the new Williamsburg, but...
Interesting.
But nobody's told anybody that.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
I don't know. I just drive through Riverhead and I go, this is really cool. Why isn't there should be more art galleries and more... You know what Riverhead is? It's Hudson, New York. You ever been to Hudson?
Well, what do you mean?
Well,
Like
there's
Nyack?
a town called Hudson. Yeah, but north of Nyack.
Okay. I guess I've never
At
been
the
to
foot of the
Hudson.
Catskills and up there. Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
grew
Riverhead.
up. I grew up over there, and I never.
Riverhead,
been to
if you're
Hudson.
listening, you need a makeover. Number
It's
3.
working on it. I'm surprised to see cowfish
get
that high.
cowfish.
I
Cowfish-
went there. I think for
Are shots
Valentine-
romantic?
I went to I've done Valentine's Day dinner at Cowfish.
You
so
have?
I can't really say much, but it's delicious. I am surprised to see it so high, but I'm not gonna hate. I think that's great.
Miraculously, Matthew Kristen, who's from Canoe Place, hasn't left yet because we haven't gotten to his place on this list.
Which
and
is the food was
I've got-
good when I came out there.
Oh no, it's great.
to
We're going to talk
stand-
about that. Believe
to
me, there'll
show
be a
up
make
for
good
you.
here.
It
We're going to
was
sue.
yummy.
We're suing TripAdvisor, and this is Exhibit A. 1770 house.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
That's got the
Yeah.
walk-in fireplace.
Oh yes, so
Yeah, the
good.
giant downstairs.
Beautiful.
You don't want to go to the downstairs until you get there, and then you go, "Oh, this is great."
It's lovely.
Yeah, 1770 house in at number 2.
And I want to try number 1.
Okay, so the number 1, drum roll. Oh, you don't have a drum. Is there a harmony? There you go. Nice work, June Turner. Harvest on Fort Pond in Montauk, which I've heard absolutely nothing about.
Well, I hear their
Until now.
Insta is on point.
Well,
Shepard says so.
okay, this was a major, major mistake.
We're gonna come and
because
visit. We're
We
gonna
don't know
come-
when
we're gonna go to
TripAdvisor
Harvest.
did this because who's good at research? Not me. But for some reason, Canoe Place Inn and Cottages was not on board.
Slighted.
We didn't grease the right wheels there, or something. I have a feeling that this was all done.
It takes a while for the East End folks to gravitate towards a place sometimes.
Well, you couldn't
After
ask
the initial,
for-
well, usually when you first open, there's like a big rush and everyone wants in. And then sometimes it takes a little time, and
Were
that's
you part of
okay.
that big rush at Canoe Place?
You know what? I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't, but it wasn't. It had nothing to do with Canoe Place, but the fact that my daughter just turned 3, so
Oh, yeah.
I was in it. I wasn't
Maybe
going
better
anywhere.
you didn't show up there.
I
But
wasn't
come
going
now
anywhere.
if the child is well behaved. Matthew Kristen is the GM at Canoe Place Inn and Cottages. We are talking about romantic getaways. Matthew, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. Good morning, guys.
Hey, we are big fans of your place because you have sponsored this show in the past, and we've had a lot of fun doing events there. And last year was like gangbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Goldblum, some of the most interesting dance and and recording artists from all genres, Latin, jazz. Okay, just those two, but no, like
We had other genres
lot.
of music, yeah.
Very cool, and it's going to be a romantic place to be. First of all, do you have a statement you want to make to TripAdvisor about not being one of the most romantic?
I demand a recount.
Okay, it starts here. It's a grassroots thing, and I think we can get a recount. You're doing some romantic stuff this month.
We are, yeah. Really excited for Valentine's Day this year. We're bringing back actually an act that was here with us last year. So the Pedro Cortez Flamenco Ensemble.
Oh, fantastic.
So they sold out our pavilion last year.
Right.
And then we're bringing them back this year for Valentine's Day in the ballroom.
Wow.
So it's going to be great. Tickets are selling like crazy. But that's only one of many things that we have going on that
You
weekend.
have to put down a special floor for flamenco, don't you?
They'll be up on a stage, so there'll be flamenco dancers. It'll be elevated, so sight lines will be
cool.
fantastic. And we're hoping to pack the place out.
It sounds beautiful.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really great. The ballroom, we just installed a professional sound system, lighting system, so it's gonna take the whole performance to the next level.
And what
Really
about,
excited.
What about food? Well,
Yeah.
Is it going to be a la carte? How's it?
So we're gonna do prefix dinner for Valentine's Day.
3 courses?
3 courses, but it's going to be great. Yeah, we're about to put out the menu in a few days, so
Watch
excited for that.
online. I guess
Watch
for
online.
anyone who
And
doesn't,
get your-
Canoeplace.com.
do you
Yeah.
know who
your-
the executive chef is out there, or
I
who's running the
don't.
whole show?
Tell us.
So his name is Eddie. He just came over from Union Square.
Okay.
Of course, our F&B partners, Union Square Events, tremendous partners. They came on board last July. Eddie worked at the likes of Manhattan and other places in Manhattan, and we're delighted to have him. He started at the end of 2024, so this will really be his first big test.
wow.
But he's up to it. Yeah, great guy.
Union
Make your-
Square,
make
for
your
those of you who don't
reservations
know.
early.
Yes, get online.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
now.
don't be a
Don't be the
slouch
one
and
who shows
disappoint your
up
partner.
day of.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't show up day of because we are going to be booked for sure.
Union Square is Danny Meyer.
Okay.
Shake Shack and it's an empire over there, and they're now a strategic partner at Canoe Place. Let's talk about Canoe Place. So you had Desi and Lucy. You've had it's been a romantic getaway for Manhattanites out in Hampton Bays, and who else? We've had Count Basie. Count Basie must have brought a date. It's been a romantic.
Albert Einstein, I'm sure, had a date or a wife at some point in time.
He figured it
out. Yeah, but we've been doing this for a long time. And people think Hamptons, you think the summer, but our property, we have tremendous number of fireplaces throughout the property. You can, nestle up in front of the fire, have a cocktail. It's really quite romantic.
There's a big fireplace in
Yeah.
the
And we
study.
love that.
Yeah.
I always really appreciate the people that stay open through the winter.
Yeah.
It's
As our
important.
year-round
Yeah.
folks do.
Especially being that we're Hampton Bays, right? We're in Hampton Bays, which has a year-round community. It's really important that we keep our doors open 365 days a year.
And some exciting things that you can talk a little bit about, but maybe not specifically name. Some trivia, some comedy.
Yeah.
You had Mark Norman last year.
We did.
And sold out the place.
Sold out. That was in July
Right.
of last summer. We're working on a comedy series this year, which is going to be exciting. I can't share any names yet,
Right.
but some big household names are scheduled to come to the
I'm
bar at Canoe
psyched.
Place.
And in February, maybe this month.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So watch. Okay, good.
Where can we find out more information?
Our social media at Canoe Place, website www.canoeplace.com, or just call the hotel, which people love to do. They call us and say, "What's going on in the hotel? What's going on this weekend? Do you have live music tonight? I have nothing to do," and we help them out.
That's like so throwback.
It
That's
is.
like,
It is. But
let's call Sarah down at the Petticoat Junction and see what's going on.
Press 0 for a live representative.
exactly. But we've embraced it. It's
Yeah,
great.
that's nice.
Yeah, totally.
There's also a spa on the premises, right?
Yeah, of course. So if you're looking to relax a little bit, Soleil
Couples
Beauty,
massage
couples massage,
action.
yeah. And one of the treatment rooms actually has a fireplace in it as well. So to take it to the next level, yeah.
A little later on in the hour, we're going to talk about romantic date nights or date days in the Hamptons. So we'll be talking about spas a little more. That one is open through the winter as well.
Correct. Same operating days as the hotel.
Yeah, great. And you can do a lunch and then go have a spa treatment, or
Absolutely. Yeah.
you
Okay, and what about singles awareness?
Okay.
Do you have a bar situation?
We do.
Okay.
So for all the single
And
people out there,
because you can't forget it, because it can get very lonely, in this time
Yes.
of year.
Yes. I mean,
and I don't
Valentine's
want
Day would be a
people-
sad day to go to the bar by yourself, but
Maybe.
maybe not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been a bartender on Valentine's Day, and I gotta say, full bar on Valentine's Day.
But all couples.
No. So that's what I'm saying. Singles awareness, guys.
Okay. And there is a bar and there's a happy hour. By the way, I was going to mention this later in the hour, but a new study, can any of you guess what the healthiest beer, wine, or spirit is?
Sake, beer,
Oh,
wine,
interesting.
or spirit,
Tequila
vodka.
or mezcal.
See, forever, everyone's been saying how healthy tequila is and how much better it is for you in terms of waking up the next day and feeling okay.
What did I
But
say, vodka?
a new doctor,
Sake?
vodka and sake,
I don't know.
They're
Vodka.
both clear. So
I don't know.
harmonica, chocolate, vodka, and sake at your house for, wow, we are getting a picture. Maybe you shouldn't drop by Canoe Place. No,
Oh
I'm
wait,
kidding. No, please.
what about sparkling like champagne?
Okay, I'll throw over all the cards. It's a spirit. First of
Okay.
all, beer is the worst thing for gut health.
Yeah, no.
Even those ultras with the no carbs and everything is still brewed with yeast and
And make sure
so,
if you go to a restaurant, and you get it from a tap, that they clean their lines.
Oh, yeah.
yes,
You
that's a
know?
big one.
Right?
clean.
important.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Clean
Really?
the tap lines. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like once a week or whatever.
So that musty taste in my Guinness isn't supposed to be there.
What is it? I'm dying to know.
It is the closest pH to our
Oh,
pH, which
pH.
is gin.
Oh.
Gin because it's London berries or Logan berries
Oh,
or Buddha berries.
yeah. Juniper?
Chuck berry, I don't know what it is, but it's
Juniper berries?
juniper. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, look, Steve's
So,
nodding. I nailed it.
gin, which is almost indigestible for me. I don't know.
I love gin.
You do?
Well, I'm not like I don't drink often, but I appreciate gin, and it's great for cleaning glasses as well.
Really?
Yes, vodka and
Spring.
gin.
You have a lot of bar
Little-
tips in this show.
I've been a bartender for a long time.
Yes, you have.
Since I was
Clean at Canoe
19.
Place?
I will
I'll
help
hire
you
you on
out
the spot.
anytime.
Wow. This
Happy
is
to
There we
help.
go.
This is kind of like Grinder for
No,
employers.
I think at
Like,
this
you're
point,
like,
at this point, I'm probably in the consultant category.
that's what you'd
But
like
I
to
would
think.
be happy. You know what?
But you see a dirty
don't
line,
know.
you're going to clean
Bill,
it.
I've worked so many bars out here.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like for Tweeds, for example, I was
Yeah.
there for years.
Okay, since
You
we
don't
have
know.
you here, you don't have to name names.
Okay.
But is it true what they say about the absolute filthiest thing at any restaurant or bar is the bar lime or lemon?
Not my bar limes or lemons.
Those
That
never
was-
get washed and they get put on or in drinks.
I washed all my lemons and limes before I cut them. So maybe I guess it depends on your bartender.
You're not
You
getting
really
it.
want that consultancy job, I
Yeah.
can
No,
tell.
I'm
lemons
just
or limes at
I'm
Canoe
being
Place.
okay because I've been a bartender since I was 19, and so you learn. For example, you don't drink when you're a bartender.
You could make drinks at 19 or you could carry them to the table.
I made drinks. I don't know if I was supposed to. I think at 18. I think
Okay, this'll all
18
come
you
out
can
in the
become
trial.
a bartender. But yes.
Was this at Tweeds?
No, it was in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
I was getting my photojournalism degree, and I was a bartender at a place called the Blue Fugue. It was a venue.
Did they ask how old you were?
I don't think so.
Okay. The Missouri, the show me state, except
I'm
when it
just
comes
saying.
to ID. Yeah, all right.
That's a good joke.
Okay, thank you. I get
That was a
lucky.
good one, though.
Hey, if you just joined us because you forgot to make Valentine's Day reservations
Oh,
and your
do it
marriage
now.
is now on the line, this is the February edition of Air Hamptons. We have movies, restaurants, date ideas, and the name of a good divorce lawyer. Stay tuned. Matthew, thank you so much for
Always a
joining us. We
pleasure.
are coming to Canoe Place Inn for the fantastic Valentine's Day weekend.
Can't wait
We're
to
going
see
to
you
see
there.
the flamenco. We're going to have the price fix, and we're going to get a massage.
Yes.
Got it planned.
Beautiful. See what a consultant
Yeah.
can do?
It's great. You're hired on the spot.
Jim Turner, a little romantic play-out music for the great Matthew Kristen, and thank you from Canoe Place Inn and Cottages. All right, we were going to do this later, but since we are talking about romance, a good date night thing. That is the great Jim
What a
Turner.
movie.
Yeah, okay, so here's what's happening this month. Opening February 7th is an action movie. Not exactly.
Okay.
It's kind of a fish out of water, chop 'em up kung fu movie called Love Hurts. Love Hurts is opening in February. That seems to make sense. Starring Ki Hu Kwan and Sean Astin, the great
Oh my
Sean
God,
Astin.
Sean Astin was from Goonies. Started
Yes,
out, right?
yes. He's
And
been
then
in
he
some-
was, not Frodo,
He was in the Lord of the Rings.
Samwise Gamgee. Samwise.
Yes.
Yes.
We
Sean
don't do
Astin.
any research here, and there's absolutely
No,
no
this is off the
rehearsal.
cuff.
We don't rehearse the show. This is Air Hamptons, and we are using the gorgeous facilities at LTV, and we are heard on WLIW
Pilates,
once a month every Sunday.
you did.
And now we're breaking into small discussion groups.
Yes,
Before we
because
bring on our
you-
next guest, February 14th,
Yes.
do you remember the movie Her?
No, I never saw her.
Joaquin Phoenix and the voice of Amagansett own Scarlett Johansson. That's at the Sag Harbor Theater at 6:30 on
that be
February
Sag Harbor
14th.
Cinema?
Also opening, and if this is a romantic movie to you, you probably need a divorce. Captain America: The Brave New World is opening on Valentine's Day for some reason.
Oh, Woody Harrelson. That's
Yes,
the
and
dude.
on February 28th, I have not seen this film yet, but it's a Woody Harrelson action film called Last Breath about a diving expedition. They go down deep into this, I guess, oil rig, and they get cut off
That's
like
like
2001.
this is a
where they-
nightmare for me. I would hate to drown. I would hate to drown.
Okay, I think if we
think
took a little
everyone-
poll here, Jim, how do you feel about drowning?
100%.
Okay, great.
He's an outlier.
We mentioned spa days at Gurney's, the
Yes.
Shay Shai Bang House, Baker House, which we love in East Hampton. Also cooking classes in the North Fork, your little North Fork.
Oh, I do love the I
The
do
fig
love the
or a
North
pinch
Fork.
of salt. And those are fun. Have you ever done a cooking class
haven't.
with Mr. V?
I think that would be a really good.
It is fun. And then you meet other people. It's not just you. And then you cook. We did it on a. We've done it in
That's
foreign
cute.
countries, but here in Manhattan and now out on the North Fork,
Oh.
you do it and then you eat it.
If you want to impress your significant other, your SO, cooking class. Consider a cooking class.
All right,
That
but
sounds
can
fun.
we work this all out together? Sag Harbor Pilates expert
No,
Kelly
Harbor
Ship-
Pilates.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Say
just
it with
Harbor
me.
Pilates. But it is in. It's
It's
just
in
outside
Sag
of Sag
Harbor. I made that same mistake,
Right.
so
All
I
right.
forgive you.
It's around the bend, appropriately enough,
Yes.
because we're talking
On
about Pilates.
114.
And Kelly Shepard joins us. Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having
Kelly.
me.
We can't believe this is a show either. I know you've been sitting here going, "What the hell have I gotten myself
it's
into?"
okay.
And we're thrilled that you're here because the first question is it something couples ever do? Pilates has been around since the early 1900s.
Yes, the 1900s, and believe it or not, I do have a lot of couples and families that come in.
And they're on those like beds, like
Yes, they
When you
James
say
Bond and
families, you
some-
mean kids?
Husband, wife, their children.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
How old is your youngest
My youngest
Yeah.
is, I would say 20, to
Okay,
be honest. 20
okay.
to 93 is my oldest student.
Yeah, my daughter is doing it in the city at some studio where you can go as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting up at 6 in the morning and running over there. So she's cranky, but she loves it. And I guess for those who don't know what it is or think it's just a mat or what is it fundamentally?
So Pilates incorporates a system of exercises. It's a total body workout, which includes every plane and range of motion, and you're moving with your breath.
With breath.
Yeah.
So is
and it can be done
Like
on a
yoga?
mat or special
Yeah, I was going to say, is it
apparatus.
yoga with machinery or?
No, it's you're moving with your breath at certain movements. So
Right.
you have to be 100% present in your body. It's all about alignment, posture, control, precision. So you have to be 100% present when you're doing your workouts.
Like there are some yoga classes I've been to where it felt like Pilates because you're moving.
It's a take. There's a lot of
through.
movements that sound
Right.
similar,
Right.
but it's definitely very different.
It's less about pose and more about
Your
movement
fluidity, you're
through,
moving,
right.
moving through, and you're working in every plane and range of motion. So when you come into a Pilates session, you're getting a total body workout.
Well, you said total body workout twice, and I don't think of it as something that's going to be aerobic, but it does get your heart going as
It'll
well.
get your heart rate up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for sure. And it works, again, working on posture. So anyone who has injuries, lower back issues, it's really just about perfect alignment. A lot of people don't realize that their bodies are uneven.
Does it lengthen muscles?
Yeah, it'll strengthen and lengthen you, for sure.
So you can come in 6'1" and leave 6'2".
No, not
or 3".
necessarily that, but
But it can help elongate the spine and elongate some things that.
well, naturally in everyday life, we're hunched over and
Right.
as we evolve. So when you're working in extension, you're getting that movement that puts your body in alignment. So an awareness.
Is this something that you would recommend to like a football player or an athlete?
Most football players do Pilates. Most
Yeah.
NFL players
that
do
true?
it. Absolutely. Most NFL
Nobody
players
tells me anything.
Most athletes do Pilates, believe it or
Yeah.
not. If you're into golf, improves your golf swing because it's all based around core strength. A lot of people don't realize when they're working out, they're not present.
Right.
They're thinking about other things. They're not in tune with their body. They're just going through it and through the motions. In Pilates, it's all about precise movements that connects with your breath, your body, when you're moving at that time.
And
So-
once you're bringing once you're bringing the breath into the equation, then that really brings you into the present.
Works on lung
it's-
capacity,
So you want to talk
continuously
about total
breathing.
body? It's also helping your mind.
Absolutely, it helps it helps your mind, and you're working on lung capacity.
Right.
So you're doing lateral breathing. It's a certain type of breathing that goes into Pilates.
Every part of my body needs help. So if it's the mind also, have you seen this new little device that is on TikTok? So it must be true. That you put in your mouth and it expands your lungs when you. And
What?
they claim
I
this
haven't
is
seen
what
that.
Tom Cruise uses every day.
I've seen like mouth tape. That's
No.
really
No, it's some device that forces you to breathe deeper and exhale more. And it strikes me that this is something you could do without this device
would
if you
think
knew
so.
how to breathe. It also sounds a little spiritual. Was the guy
It
that
is.
started it kind of like
I don't know if he was spiritual, but his
the
name is
Mary
Joseph
Baker Eddy
Pilates.
of
Joseph
working out?
Pilates.
Yeah, and he started the system back in World War I to rehab patients.
Wow.
Yeah, to rehabilitate them.
That's
It looks like a
fascinating to
rack.
know.
Have you
Yeah.
seen it? It
No,
looks like
so I don't know-
It looks
I don't know
frightening,
about that.
but it's not
Yeah,
frightening.
It's not at all.
like
It looks intimidating, and that's what I think is so. When people first come and look at the equipment, it is intimidating looking. But once you get the flow of it and you get the language, there's a language to be learned. There's a breathing pattern to be learned, and movement. It's something so different.
So almost like a Peloton class, everyone is doing sort of the same thing. They're
Yeah,
doing
so
the
compared to Peloton.
well, but everyone's doing the same movement at the same time, and at their own level. But everybody's
Yeah, at their own pace. They're just listening. I mean, I would like for people to stay within their own bodies. But yes, if they're in a group setting, they're listening to me. I do not work out with my students. I just verbally speak to them and
Got it.
watch their bodies, make sure they're in perfect alignment.
stay within your own body.
Yeah.
I would give anything to get out of this body.
Absolutely.
But
You
again,
have to
these
move
are
with
my
purpose.
personal problems, and I don't mean to bring them in.
Take some COVID walks.
It's about moving with purpose. A lot of people.
How
just
long
move-
is a Pilates session?
55 minutes.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And you wear loose clothing.
I want to know more about the apparatus. Can you tell me more about what
It
kind of
looks like a
machinery
bed.
So it was
Okay.
designed off of a hospital bed.
that- Okay.
And he took the
Obviously,
springs from
right.
the hospital bed and he used them to create resistance. So think about it. If you were
Right.
sick and you were in the war, you couldn't leave your bed, they were told
Right.
to stay stagnant. That's what people do. You don't move. He
is
took
not
the
good
springs
for
from the bed, he attached them where you can use arms and leg springs so you weren't just laying there. It was a way to rehabilitate. And then fast forward to the 20s, he came to New York City and it became very popular with dancers and with performers.
Right. Naturally.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you think about a hospital bed, it has all those slings and all
Right.
those, and if you just put springs on that, suddenly people are working out.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and there's so many takes of it, of the apparatus. It's so many years.
What brought you to
To
Pilates?
Pilates?
Yeah.
I just started doing Pilates after I had my son, and I just started doing mat work, and within a first week or two, I knew it was something I loved, and it was something that worked.
Right.
It really is. It's something more for your brain. I think the results that you get for your body is something that's like secondary. It's more just the
a bonus.
breathing. Yeah, it really is. It's the bonus because you get so much more than that. It's just a total body system. When you leave your session, you're taking those principles with you when you leave. So you're aware. You're not going to be hunched over. You're going to think about sitting up tall. You're going to think about where are my shoulders? Where is my head? Think about it. You're leaning over all day. We have forward head posture.
But it must feel so
You
good.
need to work in extension and flexion and all that.
Well,
Sit up
I
straight,
think
man.
about a beauty bonus, and I was thinking about you talking about what you've done to the space on 114.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll probably have events there.
Yes, so that's would be what I'd like to do. So I have the Pilates studio on the property, and we only have 5 students. That's another thing. I don't have each class is only open to 5 students per class.
Oh, that's nice. So you can really
yeah. So
give
there's no
people
large group
individual
classes.
attention.
We have.
But events, you could get married on the Pilates beds. You could
well,
we'd
no,
throw a
on
wedding
the
there.
outside property if they want.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sure it's
the outside
beautiful.
property is
I
in the
love that
process of
area.
getting renovated. So we'll hopefully have some events, some wellness events. Anyone wants to host a dinner party? I'm not really there yet. It's all in the infancy stage, but yeah.
It's growing right here on the show.
Yeah, pretty much.
This Pilates guy, this Joseph guy, had some pretty good patents because
It wasn't patented.
this is one of the pieces of equipment that never seems to get knocked off, or somebody goes.
Yes, it is knocked off. It's not patented. Pilates has never been patented.
But the machines look basically the same as what he designed
Works.
originally, right?
Yeah, because
So no one has said we've done something better than Pilates. The way Nautilus came out, and suddenly there were all these other.
There's other
working-
things. There always is evolution, right? Some people, I just stay true to the principles. I evolve myself. I don't just train classically anymore. That's the original method Joseph Pilates intended to be taught. I teach contemporary, but I still teach Pilates. I have a small twist of contemporary approaches toward.
What's something that when you're talking about evolution that is different from the like a purist point of view?
Yeah, what's the best update what's happened to the equipment or the procedure?
I like that it evolves. I do. I think as long as you stay within the principles of what he intended the way for it to be taught. Like if you come into a Pilates session and you're just working out one specific group, abdominals or just your glutes, that's not Pilates. Pilates is intended to be taught in a whole,
Right.
from the inside out. Mind, body, connection, precision, control. You work on balance. That should all be incorporated in your session. It's not a targeted system. It's
Right.
meant to be taught in a whole.
Do Pilates people get along with yoga people?
I'm not sure.
Is it like
I get along with everyone.
Yeah, is it like
Police?
or the West Side Story? Is it
sibling
like the Sharks
rivalry?
and the Jets, or is it?
I'm not
Once you're
sure.
a
I'm a
Jack,
little
you're
more.
a
I'm
Jack.
just very laid
Well,
back.
I mean, for your own personal benefit, you see Pilates as an extension of or a better version of what's happening to people.
I think
who
Pilates
take
should be
yoga.
everyone's foundation. I think it should be everyone's foundation. They should learn the breathing pattern, the lateral breathing pattern. They should learn about their posture, body awareness. It's not necessarily about posture.
How's our
everyone
posture?
sit-
How's our
we
posture?
both-
We both just sat up
As soon
straight.
as she said that, we both went.
Nobody likes to go out with me because I really don't. I'm eyeballing everything. But yeah, think about it. It's just awareness. I said it, and you stood up taller.
Well,
So
I'm coming.
I had a doctor tell me that by my age, in my 60s, everybody has
Yeah.
a leg that's longer
Of
than the
course.
other, whether it started out that way or not.
But think about it. Don't you think it's common
Really?
sense? But it's common
Yeah.
sense. Your work. I mean, you have a child. When I'm holding my son, this is me.
Right.
So what do you think is
Right,
going to
bent
happen?
over.
Just everyday life. That's why it's important.
That's why it's
Pilates
so
works
right.
on just being even when you think about it. And your left and right side. One's always going to be dominant, but just the awareness of trying to even everything out is beneficial. But
And this is good for couples. People come in together
yes, I have people
occasionally.
that come in. Of course, couples for sure, families for sure, always.
You and Mr. Volpe go.
I really do.
I think Ryan
Mrs.
would love
McCuddy and I
it.
will. Yeah?
I do.
Yeah?
I think you would definitely
You
do
have
it.
to come try it. You
It's
should.
a
Yes.
stretch,
Oh,
but I might
Just to
be
come
able
see
to.
the property and experience.
Yes.
It's very good energy. It's a beautiful space.
Yeah, I guess before we let you go, I mean, I wouldn't call it a dying art, but like there used to be tons of Pilates places in Manhattan, for example. Like almost every, not like a Benetton or that, but upstairs or some of these
course.
were Pilates. And I guess my two-point question is,
I think
it's
that
lasted,
sounds
but
like
it's
That
not.
sounds like there was a boom at
Right.
some point where everyone.
Is that,
I think-
would you agree with that?
I don't because I'm teaching for 20 years. So Pilates has always been a part of my life. I'm 45. So I've always done Pilates since I'm 23 years old. And I was
Did
a
you
dancer.
dance?
No.
You weren't a dancer?
So most people when they meet me, they're like,
Play
"Oh,
any
where'd you
NFL?
dance?" I'm
You
like,
play
"No, I'm
NFL
5'4".
football?
No, I don't.
But if I go into an NFL locker room now, I will see Pilates equipment?
You probably wouldn't see Pilates. I've
They
trained tons
probably
of
go to
athletes.
class. Yeah.
Well, for injuries, and injury prevention.
Right.
Okay,
Just-
besides the bed when you go, in the front window, there's this other
That's
machine.
a ladder barrel. So
Ladder barrel. So that
ladder
looks.
barrel.
What is that?
You can do extension. You can roll over it. So just think once again, just to think just from average person perspective, is you're like this.
Right.
You have the arc, right? This ladder barrel, which is another piece is an arc. You're laying over it, so you're getting your spine
feel
and
like
that
I knew
mobility.
this.
Yeah,
I
that
had,
looked-
I had
Just
a-
think how anything stays
I had,
stagnant,
like,
it's going to be stagnant.
I had lots of breaks. I had like a bad car wreck.
Yeah.
This sounds like something I need for my body.
I usually tell people come one session, you'll see,
just see.
you're definitely going to enjoy it. You'll see
Yeah.
after one session, you'll see a major difference.
Really?
Yeah, most doctors will, like PTs, chiropractors, that's how I've built most of my studios by
Wow.
referrals from doctors.
Does any insurance recognize it as physical therapy and pay for any portion of it? No.
So usually what I do is I will team up with a physical therapist. They see a patient. When they're done with their patient, they refer them to
recommend.
me.
That's so smart.
Yeah, so that's kind of
beautiful.
how it goes because you have to stay mobile, and as you
Right.
get older,
Right.
the more you just let yourself go, the worse it's going to be. You have
Can
to
you
stay
put
moving.
your ankle behind your neck?
Behind my neck? No, but I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah,
And it's all about flexibility.
I could do
Yeah,
that.
strengthening, lengthening, flexibility, mind-body connection. There's so many benefits to Pilates that honestly, it's really endless.
We're a flexible show, and we've enjoyed having this conversation. I'm going to bring Mrs. McCuddy in, and you're going to bring Mr.
Sue!
Volpe in, and we're going to do
You should, absolutely. I'd love to
Trigiano,
have
he's
you.
got-
Absolutely.
We have separate names.
expensive, just in a ballpark, as much as yoga classes, or less
I
than
imagine
joining a
it's
gym, or
moderately cost.
I would
It's an
say
investment
it is.
in your
It
body.
definitely is an investment, but I do offer packages because I do understand that Pilates is very expensive,
Right.
especially in the Hamptons. So I have a pay scale for.
do you
you'll
need
see,
weird
there's certain-
insurance?
That's nice.
Do you need some kind of weird insurance so that somebody like messes their back up on, or
Oh, like a
Yeah,
liability?
of course. I have
Yeah.
insurance.
But we've had nobody's died on the table yet so far.
20 years teaching, not one complaint. So, yeah.
Well, you're a very good sport, and
Yeah,
we
thank you
appreciate
so much for
it.
having me.
It is called Harbor Pilates.
Yes.
It happens to be near Sag Harbor,
Yes.
as I said, near the Bend.
Yes.
Kelly Shepard, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us today
Enjoy.
on. And if you're just joining us, you're late. But there's still plenty more Air Hamptons for
We
everyone.
forgive you.
This is what Love's Got to Do with It edition, and we are coming to you live on tape. That's Jim Turner on both the harmonica and the guitar. He's flexible. Jim Turner is flexible.
Yes, he is. I like his shirt. See that?
If you're listening to this on the radio, he has a Navajo-inspired Western shirt.
Boy, that Pilates has been so good to me.
Love is in the air, and that means chocolate.
Yes.
It just does. I mean, there's no getting around it.
There just isn't.
You're going to have to, at some point, go out. You know, I made the classic mistake. Mrs. McCuddy's a Godiva lady, and maybe that'll change with our
Divas,
next guest.
yummy.
But I came home one time. With,
I'm a lint.
Well, I see. I brought Lint home.
Oh,
and we didn't
she-
have this conversation, did we? Before
no.
this,
No, we
We've
didn't.
never met before.
No,
The
this
trick
is
I'm
our
about to
first
show
time.
you is no. It's
I'm a North Fork chocolate girl.
Lint. I brought Lint
But I
home.
like Lint.
And man, you would
Growing
have
up.
thought I had just ended the marriage, which
So now we
that's
know.
happened many times.
That's
but no, this is Lint was no good. It had to be Godiva.
You know
But-
what? You could do that on, like, haven't you ever done that? Like, oh no,
Yeah, that doesn't
so
work.
sorry.
No, that doesn't- you haven't met Sue.
I'll have to.
Her name is Sue Court. She has Sue and Court in her name. You don't screw with her. So that's the
Yeah,
rule.
that's
I have a lawyer on speed dial.
Yeah, that's smart.
And she has 12. So here's the thing. Chocolate has, the way gin is pH friendly to our belly, we've learned this hour.
Dark
Dark chocolate
very
is
good
like
for you.
medicinal.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want people taking a little bit of it every
Every
night.
day. Night. Oh, night is nice.
Yes, or night. With a
before you brush
harmonica,
your
we
teeth.
know your whole story. So it's become a health food in a way, and there are more and more chocolatiers developing their craft and coming up with their own recipes. And introduce us to our guest.
Okay, so Steve Amarell and Ann Corley own North Fork Chocolate. Their chocolate is incredible, and so are they. I'm very grateful that Steve is here, which, by the way, you can also get very yummy food. And if you are a plant-based person and you are looking for a place to eat, Riverhead, right downtown, North Fork Chocolate.
I've heard tell of this Riverhead that you speak of
yes.
often.
Yes.
Yes, I've
The
been to
Williamsburg
Riverhead on my way to
of the East
Costco.
End.
You got to go to Costco. You got to go to Riverhead.
Steve, do you want to talk about the
Steve,
medicinal
welcome.
elements?
Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh well, hold your applause till
Okay,
the
hold
end.
on.
No pressure, but that's the best interview, the best intro I've heard for a guest on our show ever. Is there
I mean
a bump?
It's because I mean it.
I guess the
really do.
big question first is, do you sell more chocolate in February than any other month of the
Oh,
year?
God.
Yes,
Yeah.
chocolate forward.
Or is Easter?
Easter
Which one?
is, well, February, then it depends on the month Easter comes in. If it's in March, it's better. April, kind of too far towards the summer, but Christmas is our number one selling.
Is it?
Yeah.
And is there a
Christmas
boost
before
because people think it's healthier now, or it's getting a better rep than it had when Hershey's was pouring all the chemicals into it?
I think it's in February. I mean, our tagline is "Chocolate is love" because people give chocolate during, to people for their birthdays and Valentine's. So it's like, you love someone, you give them chocolate.
Chocolate is love.
Yeah, chocolate is love.
I
And
like
it is
that.
healthy for you, right? The dark chocolate?
Jim
It's
Turner's
antioxidant.
working on a jingle for you. Yeah, it's a,
Okay, you said it's antioxidant?
Antioxidant,
So if
yeah.
you have like chocolate covered blueberries, is that like
Wow. That's up there, yeah.
double
It's really up
dipping your
there, yeah.
antioxidant
And also,
intake?
also if it's 70% or higher, some people
Right.
72.
Right.
Some people want 100%. So
They do.
give
They do 72%. Why is it 72%?
yeah. That's a great question. That is the number.
At higher, is it less palatable?
less sweeter.
Yeah.
So there's more chocolate in there. There's more cacao. So, so that's why 80 is. It gets really bitter. I ate the beans raw, just out of the shell kind of thing.
To test them to make sure they're up to your standards, or
I just like to eat them.
Really?
Yeah.
They're yummy.
Yeah, really good.
I remember I went to the Museum of Chocolate. I was down in Florida, and they tell you like the whole history. It's really fascinating and and very sad. Because I think it was the Aztecs, right?
Yeah.
And then,
something we stole. Let me.
oh
let me-
God, oh it was so sad.
Oh, boy. I wish I could act
What was the
surprised.
guy? He was some conqueror.
Montezuma? Oh, no, Cortez? Or-
Cortez, the killer, yeah.
Yeah,
So
he was
Cortez came, and the Aztec people thought that he was the god of cacao because he looked like the god of cacao. So they showered him with gold and all their riches. They gave him everything.
I wanna
And
look like
so
cacao.
He went, and he figured, oh, they must have more, which they didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
And that
very
was the
sad.
first St. Valentine's Day massacre.
Then they brought the Aztec hot chocolate was a lot spicier. So they brought it back. I forget where was it, Spain? I don't know.
Morocco or
And
Portugal.
the king drank it and he said, I wouldn't give this to my swine. And he gave all of the cacao, everything to the monks. The monks added vanilla and made hot chocolate, and then they sat on it for a very long time. It
Not
was like
literally.
it was a secret. It was like just for them. And then I think like the king's daughter was sick and she almost died, and they gave her hot chocolate. She lived, and then she drank tons of it every day, and she ended up living like a lot longer than was at the average lifespan.
Steve, we really didn't
I'm just
need
saying.
you as a guest today, did we? No,
I'm just saying.
I didn't know any of that.
Well, now you
So
know.
I am fascinated, and now Steve has been educated.
yeah.
What did you personally look at the chocolate world and say, this is missing, I can do this better? What was your incentive to take this
you were
up?
in food.
Right.
You were a caterer,
Chef, yeah.
a chef, and
Yeah.
Here on the East End
Were you-
exclusively, or?
Mattatuck and Riverhead.
and you were in Hawaii for years.
Yeah, they grow it there. That's
And-
the North Pole of chocolate growing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's usually 10 degrees north or south of the equator is the sweet spot.
Oh, I like that pun. He didn't mean it.
No.
But did you make chocolate when you were in Hawaii?
I didn't start making chocolate till 2012.
Oh wow,
I was,
that's like about when I met you guys.
Yeah, it was a second. You were the first one to ever
Are you going to take
interview us.
credit for
I was
this
the
now,
first.
too?
Well,
Yeah,
he said I'm the first interview.
The incubator, yeah, we started
Yes.
the Calvin Incubator, business incubator. So I was doing catering weddings on the East End, at all the vineyards, and I've been meditating my whole life. So I was meditating because we only catered in the summer. So from April to October, and then in the winter, I wasn't really doing much. So
Right.
I asked the universe, what should I do? And I got one word, chocolate. So I went to YouTube University and learned how to make chocolate. That was it.
On
yeah.
YouTube.
True
You
story.
That's
seem
like a modern
remarkably laid back.
story.
You do seem very. Is chocolate part of a calming influence?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I try to eat chocolate every day. Yeah.
And one of the things that I love most about their chocolate, I'm really big into, this is very shallow sounding, but I like a food that's as beautiful as it is delicious, like a dish. And
okay.
his
Absolutely.
chocolate
That's not shallow.
is as
Okay, it's kinda
beautiful
shallow.
as it is delicious. These are gorgeous, like, I don't know.
Oh, so you create like designs,
Oh,
like
yeah.
gorgeous, like,
And
oh.
we incorporate local ingredients, like local wines, spirits. We have a Rough Rider bar.
Rough Rider bar.
That's
Let me
in
guess, you and Mr.
Calverton.
Volpe like that.
No, Long Island Distiller.
Yeah, Long Island Distillery, yeah.
Yes, Long Island vodka.
And we do a lot of wine and chocolate pairings in the vineyards year round. And
Oh,
especially,
interesting.
it increases in Valentine's.
But you also make chocolate, right, with the
beans.
wine.
Yeah, with the wine, yeah. We
Sometimes you read Wine Spectator and they take a red wine and they go, it has notes of cranberry and blackberry and chocolate. And so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
But he uses Rough Rider bourbon in some of his chocolate. I think he used Sparkling Point,
We use-
McCary. I don't know.
When
Do
you cook the
offer-
bourbon, it's not alcoholic anymore, correct, or no?
No.
Yeah, because it evaporates. We'll take 2,000 grams of cocoa nibs, the raw cocoa, and we'll
Right.
soak it in a bottle of, the whole bottle. Most of the bottle gets in there.
Maybe a little for the chef.
Happy. So we put that in, and we soak it for 7 days, and then we dehydrate it for 7 days. So the alcohol evaporates and all the flavor goes into the nibs, and they're dry enough to grind them. We have stone wheel grinders, and we add that and organic sugar, and that's all that's in there. Organic sugar, the bourbon, key ingredient, and chocolate. That's it.
I feel like chocolate bourbon could bring just about anybody
Oh,
back together.
yeah,
You could be in the doghouse, but you brought home enough of
My
that.
it out.
favorite is the fleur de lis. The fleur de lis is it local honey?
Local honey, yep.
Where's the honey from again?
It's,
Baiting Hollow?
Yeah,
Where?
Baiting Hollow.
Sorry,
Oh, this is
I just
great. I
remembered.
love it. It's like and Steve, Jim Turner has a question. We just have a
I'd like to ask
minute.
the table one thing. I love chocolate. I use dark chocolate all the time. But I'd be curious to know, I have a sensitive system, so I don't drink the caffeine, at night or later. But I wonder, sometimes it feels like I'm getting kind of a rush or a up from chocolate.
Well,
How
yeah,
much
there is
should
a
you
little
eat?
caffeine,
How much
isn't it?
should
Or-
you take?
As long as
Yeah,
you're
how
not
much can you
snorting it,
take?
You don't snort it.
Yeah,
You
don't
don't
snort the chocolate.
Kids, if you're listening,
I mean, I buy
stop
those
snorting
flat
that
bars
chocolate.
I buy those flat bars that have 70%.
Right.
How much of that can I take?
I eat the nibs in the morning. I take the beans. I'll eat the beans for breakfast, and I'm pretty good till noontime because I can't drink
You
caffeine.
don't drink coffee. You have chocolate nibs instead.
Yes,
So you don't
have-
take it
You
later in
have
the day?
tea. You have tea, right?
decaf.
At North Fork Chocolate.
Yeah, we have a full-on espresso bar and hot chocolate, of course. This time of
And
year.
do you have a website?
www.northforkchocolate.com.
NorthForkChocolate.com. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. That is Steve Emerald of the North Fork Chocolate Inn on the North
Riverhead
Fork.
and Mattatuck. They
Listen,
bought a
this
new.
has been a lovely little February
Are you having fun?
show. Yes, it's gone by in a whiz. We're
I
done.
know. It's over?
Yes.
Aw.
Your world domination. Now it's only
complete.
Saturdays now that you need to conquer somehow.
That's right.
Hey, listen, we didn't get to it, but the most romantic movie on just about every list is Casablanca.
Oh.
That's right. Play it again, Jim. That's the great Jim Turner, our one-man band. We want to thank all of our guests who came by today. Thanks to the folks at LTV, where we record this in Sagaponack, and to WLIW-FM, where you are listening to this if you're smart. We'll see you again next month. Steve, there's your name.
Watch out, McCuddy.